Hi, and welcome back to Rediscovering RC, my personal journey as I venture back into the world of RC and RC racing after an almost 20-year hiatus. I'm your host Julio, and today, after many months of anticipation, we're going to take a look at and unbox the TLR 22X-4 four-wheel drive off-road buggy. You know, it's been a long road towards getting here. This buggy was originally supposed to come out more or less around my birthday, so I figured I'd purchase it as a birthday present to myself. After a last-minute unexpected production delay, of course, we had to wait 2 more months for this buggy. Furthermore, I also had another delay during shipping where unexpectedly this shipment got delayed unexpectedly while in transit. So you can imagine I was biting my nails waiting for this buggy to get here. Well, anyways, it's finally here. Let's go ahead and unbox it. And after the unboxing, I'll share some of the optional parts that I purchased with this kit so that I can just put them in the car while I'm building it. So let's take a look. Alrighty, so here we have the box. Let's go ahead and unwrap the plastic around it. I love digging into a new kit. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and break this seal. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Alright, let's start off with the body. And again, just as with the 22 5.0, we've got a laser cut body, which is going to be a lot easier to work on. All right, let's take a look at what's in here. So we've got bag A, which bag A begins with all the differentials, of course. Alrighty, just like with the 22 5.0. What do we got here? This is bag B. Bag B, what have we got? See some rings, the springs. Looks like the shocks. Yep. All right. We've got bag G. This is probably heading towards the end. I see, looks like the steering bell cranks, the aluminum, yeah, these must be the caster, and all the associated hardware. All right. Some extra hardware. All right, good to have. We've got bag C, the turnbuckles. The wing, same wing that came with the 22 5.0 DC Elite. We've got here bag B. Bag B, this looks like it's probably the center, the slipper diff. Yeah, center diff there. Well, not diff, but the center slipper. Bag I, we've got some mount drives here. This is probably the rear. Yeah, I see the composite hubs, so that's the rear. We've got bag H, which has, I see at least the suspension blocks here. So these must be the gearboxes. I see arms. Yep. All right. We've got bag J. This is getting towards the end. We've got our yellow 4-wheel drive wheels. Yellow is faster. Probably all the associated hardware to finish up the car. We've got our tuning parts bag with all the optional, let's see, the pills. We've got some shims here. We got here optional spring caps. All right. We've got bag F. Bag F looks like some of the chassis parts here as we start putting everything in the chassis itself. Let's see, these are probably the front suspension arms. There's the blocks and hinge pins and a couple of bearings. All right. This is bag E. Bag E. What do we got? Some more chassis parts here. Yeah, these here we've got the sides of the chassis. One of the graphite stiffeners along the center. Okay. And we've got here towards the bottom, getting to the end. We've got the actual chassis. And again, it's just a slight kick up here, up in the front, and flat in the rear. All right. And finally, the final bag, which has your instructions, the optional parts list, and I'm sure decals. Yeah, they're inside the manual itself. Alrighty, so that's pretty much everything that's in the box. So give me a chance to clean all of this up, and then we'll pack up, get out all the optional parts, and I'll let you know what I got. Okay, so now that we got the unboxing out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the optional parts that I decided to buy for this kit, and I'm going to be installing this stuff as I build the kit, just to get it ready to go right from the get-go. So as I did with my TLR 22.5.0 DC Elite, I went ahead and purchased a Spektrum 6240RX. This is the version of the servo that has the receiver built in, so this will save me a little bit of space there in the chassis. In addition to this, I went ahead, just like with the 22, Spektrum does offer a integrated servo mount for this buggy. This is part SPM 9065, in case any of you out there want to go ahead and duplicate this setup here. This basically replaces the part of the servo case that has the servo horns, and it bolts directly into the chassis. So it's a sturdy way to hold your chassis in there. The other part, just because I've heard from experience that it helps strengthen the servo, we've got part SPM 9063, and I'll go ahead and put all these part numbers into the into the description below, so don't worry about that. But anyways, this is the metal top case for the servo. I've read a lot of things online that basically the plastic top is really the weak point of this servo. By having this plastic, by having this metal top case on top, it really helps strengthen the case overall and strengthen the gears inside. So very important piece to have if you're going to use this servo. And finally, of course, to mate it to the chassis, I'm going to, or to the steering rather, I'm going to be using the aluminum servo horn, 23 teeth, which is what you need for the Spektrum servos. All right, moving on to basically suspension adjustment here. I went ahead and got the titanium turnbuckles for the 22X-4, similar to what I have in my Elite. And just as with the Elite, I'm going to go ahead and use the open ball cups where possible on this, basically on all the adjustments. As I did with the 22, the only ball cups that I wasn't able to use that don't have an open equivalent are the ones that mate to the steering block. So it's going to be a similar setup here. Probably going to be using the original ball cups with that, and putting the open ball cups wherever I can. Moving on to the chassis, I'm going to be using the carbon front steering gearbox brace in the front. This is part TLR 331049. I'm going to be using the aluminum drag link here. This is part TLR 331052. I wanted to get this part simply because the steering on the 22.5.0 is so precise with the aluminum hardware there. I really want that precise steering. I really wish that the bell cranks could have been aluminum as well, but having looked at the composite versions, it would probably be very difficult for TLR to create an equivalent part. So got to get what I can, and in this case I'll go ahead and use that drag link. Moving to the center, I got the optional aluminum center bulkhead. I think with an aluminum part there in the center, anything that you can do to help stiffen up the center line of that chassis will help, and this will definitely should be better than the composite part. This part is more of a bling part, but only because I got it on my 22.5.0 DC Elite for the VHA rear hub setup. This is an aluminum rear hub and that takes the place of the composite part. Again, really not needed by all means. However, it looks really nice with the TLR logo there on the side, just as with the 22's aluminum hub. So really going to enjoy seeing that on the chassis. And finally, just for simplicity of maintenance, I went ahead and got the carbon electronic mounting plate. So my speed control will go on here, and that way for maintenance, when I need to tear it down and clean it up, it'll be a lot easier to just take this plate off and do maintenance on the chassis. So that's basically all the parts that I'm going to be using. I did want to get the center differential. I will be running this buggy on dirt, so unless you're going to be running on carpet, which is what TLR recommends is the ideal for running the slipper center diff. If you're going to be running on dirt or on any slippery surfaces, you really would behoove you to get the center diff. So those should be available in May, so I'm looking forward to getting that and then replacing the slipper with that. I'm sure I probably won't have raced this buggy yet, given the current state that we're in right now, but I can't wait to get this car together and and see what it's like. Well, that'll do it for today's episode of Rediscovering RC. I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing of the TLR 22X-4 4-wheel drive buggy. Please do me a favor and like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Any and all feedback you guys give me will help me deliver the content that you want to see. Until next time, stay safe and take care.